Okay class, we continue on with our lecture on FIN320 chapter 3 capital budgeting. Now based on my previous lecture, I've taught you how the three formulas, right? The formulas for initial outlay, formulas for terminal cash flow, and how to calculate and how to get your CFAT, net cash flow after tax. Now and then I teach you one method of capital budgeting, which is NPV, net present value. Now and then I gave you some tutorials to do based on your past year's question, which is December 2018 and June 2018. But unfortunately, I received a lot of feedback and also text from you guys saying that you don't know how to do it and you encounter some problems. Okay, so based on your feedbacks, these are the problems that I found to be consistently raised by the students. Okay, one of it is how to use the NWC, where to put it, where to use it, okay, how to calculate it. Okay, so I will cover today the problems with NWC with examples from December 2018 and June 2018. And then some of you ask when do we use the rule of thumb, because based on previous lecture we do not cover that. So today I will cover and I will give you example of the usage of when to use the rule of thumb, June 2009 and September 2014's question. And then you also will encounter problem if the cash flow is uneven. Okay, so this one you will see based on the example of June 2019 and also March 2016, where this question have uneven cash flow. And the next one is after you have uneven cash flow, then definitely you will have uneven NPV. So how to calculate an uneven NPV, I will also cover that today. Alright, so okay guys, so the first problem is how to use the NWC, net working capital. Now if you look at your past year question, December 2018, there is a sentence where it says moreover, additional net working capital of 40,000 is needed for the purchase of the new machine. Now if you read this sentence, so you know that capital is modal, right? So modal means duit keluar, means an outflow of funds. Okay, so when increase in net working capital, it means that ada increase in the modal. Increase in modal means increase in duit keluar. Duit keluar is outflow. So increase in NWC is outflow. So you need to include NWC in the calculation of IO under outflow part. Okay, but what if the question say the inclusion of the new machine will affect NWC and or increase or decrease NWC? So means decrease the net working capital. So if they decrease, means you have savings. So savings is inflow. Okay, so when you read the question and you found the sentence about NWC, just make sure that increase in net working capital is considered as increase in outflow. So you record it under outflow, and if decrease in NWC, you record it inside under inflow. So I hope that clears the issue that you have with NWC. Okay, you may try this and you can consult me with your answers later. Alright, thank you. Okay guys, so we already covered the first problem just now, which is how to use NWC, where to put it, inflow or outflow, right? So the next one is the second problem would be the rule of thumb, when to use it. Now, as I said in my previous lecture, there have not been many questions that use the rule of thumb. Okay, the only one that I can find is June 2019 and September 2014. Okay, now so let's look at the first example, June 2019. Okay, now if you refer back to your June 2019 past year question, there's this one paragraph where it says the new machine would increase operating capacity, which means the inventory level. Okay, so inventory level would increase by 25,000. And then the accounts payable will increase by 11,500. Now, these two items are items in balance sheet, right? So these are your NWC actually, okay? But this is not based on the previous question. The NWC is already given by one figure. So that figure is actually a combination of these two, means the sum of these two items. So it becomes NWC. But in this case, in this question, they do not calculate it for you. You need to calculate your NWC yourself. So how to calculate this? Based on this info, you need to use the rule of thumb. Okay. So first one, inventory level. So inventory is which part of the balance sheet? It is your asset, right? So asset, increase in inventory, so increase in asset. So you look at the U, increase in asset. So the arrow goes up, asset. So it's part of this, and the symbol is negative or minus. So that inventory level 25,000, you need to minus it. Okay. And then accounts payable. Accounts payable is a liability. So increase in liability, you will go to the S, right? Increase in liability. So it's plus. So you need to plus 11,500. Okay. So where does this go? You need to report it under the calculation of IO. So how do you calculate your IO? IO is outflow minus inflow. Okay. Now, to make your life simpler, just do this normally first. Settle this one first. Okay. And then you minus 25,000 and you plus 11,500, and you will get your final answer is your IO. That's how you do it. Okay, that's how you do it. So you can refer to question September 2014, and you can try and do that question where they have this kind of info. So now you know, when you have this kind of information, items in the balance sheet, just refer back to this diagram. Okay, use the rule of thumb, determine the symbol, minus or positive, minus or plus, and then put it here during the calculation of your IO. Alright, so I hope that clears the issue how and when to use the rule of thumb. Alright. Okay, guys. So we covered the problem with NWC. We covered the problem with rule of thumb, and then the third problem and the fourth problem, I think, is the same problem. What happens when you have uneven cash flow or uneven cash flows NPV? So definitely when you have an uneven cash flow, you will have an uneven NPV. Okay, so what is uneven cash flow? Now if you notice, all the assignment, all the past year question that you have done, the method of depreciation is SLM. So when you deal with SLM, the depreciation method is constant. So means that every year the figure is the same. So that's why when you do the income statement, there's only one column. There's only one column because the figure is the same every year. Now what happens if you have a different method of depreciation, like SYDM or DDBM, right? So when you have a different method of depreciation, now the depreciation differ every year. So you have multiple column of figures. So this makes an uneven cash flow. So it's every year the cash flow will be different figures. So this kind of problem, this kind of question already comes out in June 2019 and March 2016. Okay, so please go back and look at the problem June 2019 and March 2016. So I will show you June 2019 first. Okay, alright. Okay guys, so next problem I will address what if you have an uneven cash flow, and when you have an uneven cash flow you will definitely have an uneven NPV. Now what is uneven cash flow? Now if you notice, based on the past years that you have done, all the questions said that they are using SLM depreciation method. SLM depreciation method is where the annual depreciation will be consistent from year 1 until year 5. Okay, so when the depreciation is consistent, so let's say the depreciation is 30,000, the depreciation is consistent from year 1 until year 5, 30,000. Now, this is SLM method. Okay, the year depends on the new machine useful life, right? So if it is consistent every year, means there's no changes, so you can just report year 1 to year 5. Okay, as simple as that. So only one column, year 1 to year 5, right? But what if you have an inconsistent depreciation? For example, if the question say that you are using SYDM, or if the question say you are using DDBM method, right? So you will have an inconsistent atau uneven cash flow, right? So you will definitely need to have multiple columns of cash flow where you have different depreciation every year, A, B, C, D, E, right? So that is what uneven cash flow means. Okay, so this kind of question you can see in June 2019 and also March 2016. These two questions from these two past years is when they have uneven cash flow, so you need to have more than one column. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, something like that. Okay, alright. Alright guys, so let's look at June 2019, the past year. Okay, now if you look at this question, okay, June 2019, there is a sentence where it says that the company's policy is to provide annual depreciation based on straight line method. Now, straight line. So if straight line method means that the depreciation is constant, is consistent every year. It's the same figure. So by that means you should have only one column, right? You can say year 1 to year 5 with the same amount of depreciation. But based on this question, look at the last paragraph. Okay, there is changes that the new machine brought. Okay, increase in electricity charges increased by 60,000 from year 1 until year 5. So electricity charges falls under other costs, right? So 60,000 from year 1 until year 5. So consistent lah. Consistent. So no problem there, right? And then you go to the next one, salaries decrease by 30,000 from year 1 until year 5. No problem, decrease. No problem. So when does it become a problem? The next one, manufacturing cost decreased by 150,000 from year 1 until year 3. So So this is when it becomes an uneven cash flow. Okay, so year 1 until year 3, 150. And then the next 4 to 5 years is 180. So from there, you have an uneven cash flow. Right? Uneven cash flow. 150 and then 180. Okay? So what you need to do is that you need to make columns, 5 columns, or you can also make only 2 columns. Where? Because this is the same. This column is the same with this column, is the same with this column. So you can make this into 1 to 3 years, and another column is this one, this 2 is the same. So 4 to 5. So you will have 2 columns where 1 to 3 years, then 4 to 5 years. Okay. So after you calculate this, so definitely you will have different net cash flow after tax. So where the first 3 years is the same, then the last 2 years will be the same. Okay, understand? Okay, so because of this, you will have different cash flow, net cash flow every year, and then so once you have a different cash flow, you will have an uneven cash flow NPV also. Alright, so then in the next part, I will show you how to calculate an uneven cash flow of NPV. Alright, okay. Okay guys, so just now I already show you what is an uneven cash flow, and based on the example of June 2019, how to put the cost inside the table, and from there you will get an uneven cash flow, where year 1 until year 3 is the same cash flow, and then year 4 and year 5 is another cash flow. So if you calculate it correctly, you will get year 1 to year 3, the cash flow is 325,800. Okay, and for year 4 and year 5, you will have 408,300. So if you calculate correctly, then you will have these 2 cash flow, right? So how to calculate an NPV? Okay, so you do this table, okay, and then you put year 1 until year 3, 32800, year 4 and year 5, you separate it. You separate it into 2, 408,300, 408,300. Now, on year 5, you need to plus the cash flow with this is your terminal cash flow. Okay, so you need to plus it, and then you get a new cash flow for year 5. Okay, and then you times with PVIF or PVIFA. Now, if it is consistent year by year, so from year 1 until year 3 is the same, then you can use PVIFA. Okay, so this one is PVIFA. Okay, and based on the question, the PVIFA is, what is the cost of capital? It's 12%. And the end of the new machine is 5 years. Okay, so look at the table of PVIFA, 12 years, 12%. For this one, there's only 3 years, 1 until 3 years. So this is 12% 3 years, so 2.4018. Okay, and for this one, these two, because it is single year, 1 and 1, so this is PVIF. Okay, this is PVIF. Okay, so PVIF 12% for year 4 and then year 5. Alright, so look at the table, 2 different value. So you put it in, you times, you get this figure right here, you sum it up, right, you get this triple A here, and then you minus the IO, the initial outlay. You minus it, and then you will have your final. This is your final NPV. So this is the steps on how to calculate an uneven cash flows NPV. So I hope this clear it up. So so please try at home June 2019. Okay. So this June 2019, this will be your new assignment. Okay, for next week. Alright. Oh no, for this week. Okay. So that's it. Thank you. So, okay guys, so far in chapter 3, what I have covered the calculation part. Okay, how to calculate the initial outlay, how to calculate the terminal cash flow, how to calculate the net cash flow after tax, and then how to calculate the NPV. Now, and then I also touch on the problems you might encounter regarding the NWC, net working capital, and then regarding the rule of thumb, when to use it, how to use it, how to calculate it, and then the problems with uneven cash flow, and also the NPV of the uneven cash flow. So these are all the things that I have covered so far. Now bear in mind that this chapter is divided into two parts. One, the cash flow parts, another one is the capital budgeting part. So this part that I have covered is cash flow. Okay, so the second part of this lecture or of this chapter is the capital budgeting techniques. Okay, even though this part is rarely asked in the final exam, okay, if it is asked, it will amount only around 5% out of 5 marks. The most is 10. Okay, unlike this one is compulsory, this one is 20 marks, this one come out every semester. Okay, so this one is 20 marks compulsory. Okay, so as for this one, this part you already learn it in FIN320. Okay, FIN320. You already learned this in FIN320, where you need to calculate payback period. If you still remember, payback period. Where you need to calculate IRR, internal rate of return. Do you still remember? You need to open back your FIN320 textbook and familiarize yourself, or make sure you still remember how to calculate interpolation method to find the IRR. Interpolation method, please refer back. Okay, and then profitability index. Okay, so these three, if it comes out, it will come out together, where in one question they will ask you to calculate payback period, profitability index, and also NPV. But for IRR question, usually it is a standalone question. IRR usually will amount to 5 marks. Okay, if I'm not mistaken, 5 marks. So these things I will not teach you, because you already learned this. Just refer back to your old notes of FIN320 and you will be fine, inshallah. Alright, so with that, I covered chapter 3, and you have assignment to be passed up through online, which is past years on December 2018 and also June 2018. Okay, and for yeah, that's it. Okay, so moving on, next week I will be teaching chapter 4. I will be going into chapter 4. So if this predicament continue on, we will have online class like this. I will upload it on YouTube as per usual. So this is for next week, or for this week, and the next week will be on chapter 4. And please be reminded, once we finish with chapter 4, you have test 1 upcoming test 1. Okay, so please prepare that, please study at home, and prepare yourself for test 1. So probably when we go back into the semester, when you come back, we're gonna straight away have our test 1. Alright, so with that, I thank you guys.